And we're live. Sit spacebar. Bang.
Alright, now we're live. Before we get into this, I'm going to just plug my recent books. Soswick, my novel.
Soswick.
If you're watching, it's on the screen. Soswick, it's a novel about an extraterrestrial Bigfoot. Crazy theme. I integrated so much knowledge and wisdom in it, and I just released that last month, so I want to plug that. And my Mindful Morning Journal that I just put out, which I reverse engineered my morning routine into a book. And that is going to be out within a couple days, so sometime in the beginning of January. So that's my shameless plugs in the beginning.
Yes, yes. What is Soswick classified in the book genres?
I give it like sci-fi, fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's got some sci-fi components, but it's also like fantasy.
It's, what is it again? Because you had Ralphie. You had the one from the dog's perspective.
Yeah.
And now this is
Bigfoot's perspective.
Okay.
An extraterrestrial Bigfoot from another planet
Ah.
who comes to Earth. And it's like him like dodging humans and like peeking in and just seeing what's up on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a little tangent, but let me introduce everyone to you. This is Don Marko.
Hello, hello, hello. It's very nice to be here. Conscious Creative Tribe. It's an honor.
Mm-hmm. Nice to have you on. So just tell people what you're about. What are you up to? Who you are? All that stuff.
What I'm about? I'm about a lot of things. One thing that I like about myself, but I also think kind of, trips me up sometimes is I like to do a lot of shit. So I got a lot of interests and I got a lot of things I'm pursuing.
I feel that.
And sometimes it feels like I'm juggling too much. But essentially, I'm just a kid from Troy, New York. I'm a teacher at an alternative learning program, which I love. I got a big passion for teaching and working with children. I make music. That's how I got into CKMJ through our good friend now, Cole King. We ended up living together in Saratoga, and this led me to this studio. I'm a big health advocate, as we know. Well, I'm introducing myself. I'm acting like I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the people. Hello, people. So this is me again. This is Marko. So I fucking like working out, eating good, feeling good, trying to maximize your day, pushing through them moments where you don't want to do shit, making those, like, utilizing those into kind of, grinding through the moments where it seems like you don't want to get something done. And I feel like sometimes when you get through that first initial phase and then your mid-creative process or working out process or whatever you're doing in those processes, it sometimes turns out to be your best work. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, the universe set up a roadblock for you. Like, can you get through this, motherfucker? Yeah. Or are you going to give up right now? Because if you get through this,
then it's on.
You're going to see some good shit.
Yep.
But if you don't, then okay, you're going to sit on your couch and just be filled with guilt and regret. And I have them days.
Everyone
like
does.
Else.
Yeah, we're human.
Some days I wake up, I'm like, I just want to fucking fart and watch Netflix today. And not even fucking think about shit. Just be a bum. Maybe eat something with just high fructose corns. I know it's killing me, but I'm like, fuck it. Give me it. Sour Patch Kids. But I try to minimize those days. 80-20. 80 good, 20 bad, I'd say.
That's what it's all about. 80-20. We can't be perfect. And
no.
If we try to be perfect, that's stressful in and of itself. So
yes.
What's
so
the use of
true.
being perfect?
So true. I see so much on that. I'm like, just some of the, like, eating guides I follow. Just, like, embrace the cheat day. Don't shame yourself. Don't guilt yourself.
Because that's even worse.
That's
like,
worse.
The guilt and the shame is worse than the food itself. Like, energetically, emotionally, that shit drains you.
Yeah, because you're draining two components. Now, first you're eating shit, so you're draining your physical component. But then you're going to beat yourself up and beat up your self-esteem going to the mental. No, like, look at it as a gift. I work so hard, I'm having a donut.
Yep. Like me, I'm having a beer right now. I haven't drank a beer in
you just
a week
had 2
and a
weeks,
half.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm
now that's a
right
nice fucking beer right now.
Yep.
It's a nice beer. And if you're Cole, every time you have a beer is a nice beer. but
shout out to Cole.
Different. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to his future past Blue Ribbon sponsorship. which is coming. We manifested that onto the universe the last podcast we did.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So let's get into what you're doing as a teacher, because I find that really fascinating, what
Thank
you're
you.
doing. Yeah, talk about that.
So I work at, it's called School 12. It's the alternative learning program in Troy. Essentially, it's a school that if you couldn't make it in the high school or middle school for a variety of reasons, whether they're emotional behavioral, whether they're your grades, whether they're just the fact you didn't show up to school, you get sent down to this school. And then unfortunately has a reputation as like the bad school.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality it's just like the kids who are like, wait, this fucking education system kind of doesn't make sense. I'm just going to be a kid and be like, fuck this.
Yeah, why am I doing this?
Yes. So then they come down here and it's, you know, it's a way cooler take on education. And there's bad days like any other place, but essentially it's a place where it's a smaller learning environment. It's family, communal based. We're big on trips. We're big on always providing food. You know, we're big on looking out for our kids, making sure they're clothed well, fed well. You know, like right now, winter coats is the big thing. Got to make sure everyone's laced up with a winter coat. And, you know, my goal alone is just to give a kid a place. Like, you know, so now setting aside my classroom from the school, like, I want to create an experience that just makes you want to go there. Like, you just want to show up because you like this part about it. Like, work doesn't hit your head. So, I don't stress the work like other teachers do. And it's frowned upon a lot of times because we know how the education system is. But I'm not going to I'm not going to press a kid with work who's here because he couldn't be pressed with work. I'm just going to make this an enjoyable space for this kid. Let it be a place where he can laugh and be free and have fun. And then, oh yeah, by the way, but we gotta get this shit done real quick. You know, let's get this done. Then we can sing, dance, tell jokes, play basketball, do all that. So I don't mind taking 2 steps back in education and take a leap forward instead of just trying to hammer 1 step and keep getting punched in the head. And it's a cool spot, man, because, like I said, it's a smaller environment, so the relationships you develop are sincere and dear to your heart. These kids become your family. Like, these kids are my soul in a lot of ways. Sources of inspiration. They're on my mind. I want to make sure they're okay. And I have no problem with that. You know, I'm not out here doing that as like, oh, I'm the teacher working in the ghetto to fucking save the community and look what I do. No, I just fucking go down here because I appreciate these kids so much. And they're so talented and they're so inspiring. I just like being around them. So I'm going to do what I can do to help them because every day, you know, and I tell them, they help me. I have bad days. I have days where I don't want to fucking wake up and go to work. I might feel a little depressed, but I walk in and there's a kid in my room and he just says some funny shit and all of a sudden my whole mood's changed. Kids saved my day. So let me do what I can do to help them, you know, because they help me. So my whole idea is like, make a space where you want to be before you worry about anything. Get the kids there, then take care of the other shit. In a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah, 100% is. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it because I couldn't fit into a standard job world where I'm not getting something out of the time I'm putting in. You know, so I don't mind not making as much as the next guy. Like, I have kids who I went to high school with, like, oh, I work for this company, I sell this, and I make this much.
Mm-hmm.
But I fucking hate my life.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's not worth it. Then
and
you're just prostituting yourself for money.
Yeah, you sold out on every fucking, you know, dream, any pursuit you had, just so you could tell me that you're driving a BMW. How good does that BMW make you feel when you put your head on that pillow, though? Like, how fulfilled do you feel with that out in your driveway? Is that going to save you from fucking that hole in your stomach because you didn't pursue something? No, man.
Not going to fill that void.
You know, so if I'm not doing it with my art or nothing, you know, which I'm still I'll always pursuing doing this, all this shit's going to blow up.
Multiple streams of income, baby.
That's it, baby. You know, that's it. The multiple streams. So from the podcast to the music, all that, I'm still going to do that. But I know I got to rack up some money now. And why not do it at a place I love working?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So what are some unique or different things that you implement through your teaching? Like that makes you different from the other teachers doing it?
I would say that I'm very open to getting off track in conversation. So if I hear a kid has a good idea out of nowhere, let's ride with it. Let's see where this goes. Let's talk. You know.
That's so cool.
You know, and then like we'll get back to this shit later. You know, and we'll get back to it. Like, it works. You just have to trust in that process, and you have to trust that because we teach kids that are there because in other classes they couldn't take it so much that, you know, you get kids fucking throwing desks, telling teachers suck their dick, fuck crazy shit. You know, stuff can lead into tensions. You know, a teacher could be promoting an energy in a classroom that the kids don't feel so much that it ends up, you know, manifesting into an argument between kids. All of a sudden, you got a fist fight, and all stem from the fact that they got a boring-ass teacher.
Yep.
You know, and they're in a space they don't want to be in, and it's just an act of frustration. So my thing is, I say, like, I'm a seagull on their ocean. They're the storm, and I'm just staying on it. I'm not going to change the ways of the ocean. I can't move the ocean. These kids are going to be these kids. But let me ride the wave and see where it could go, you know. So I'm very open to conversation like that. I'm very open to, I'm big on music. Music's always playing in my room. My one baseline song that my kids seem to love is Hey by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And, you know, and I teach kids from the inner city, man. Most of my kids just listen to trap hip-hop and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you first play it, they got to be cool in front of their friends and be like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't like this, bro. But then I play it so much every day. Like, now by this time of the year, they'll be writing, doing their vocab words. Because sometimes I'll start it with that, play a little music, have them do a little vocab. Just because it's like mindless, meditative work that they don't mind.
Sneak that in.
Nice. And then in the background, they're going to a song they used to crack on when the chorus comes on. Hey, oh yeah, oh, and it's in their head, you know. And I could, you know, I'm not going to say I'm the best teacher in the world. I'm 100% haven't, you know, cracked the codes on how to make kids learn the, you know, this, and this. I'm just big on life lessons, being a good person, and I got to think the content comes with that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, you're authentic, and that's what counts, and everything's going to flow out of that, because you're just being you, and you're forging these genuine connections and relationships with the kids. And when you do that, you don't need any specific tips and tricks and strategies. It just naturally flows out of it.
100%. And I say all the time that, wow, I just completely lost that thought. It was a good one too. What the fuck? God damn it! What were you just saying before that? Oh, it's you, authentic, all that.
Yep.
All right, so I said, like, I went and did like a couple talks at my old school, Oneana, to some future teachers.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was cool, man. It was cool, and my whole idea is, like, I'm kind of going out there and advocating, because you get so many places that, like, go out and fish for teachers and stuff, and, like, oh, come to our place or whatever. And my whole thing is, like, if your heart's not in, like, if your heart's not rooted in really, like, because I said, you know, I work at an ALP, alternative learning program, like, it's not the easiest place to work, but if it can work for you, it's a beautiful place. But my thing is, you get so many teachers now, nothing kills me more than a teacher that needs a job, parents are pressuring them, society's pressuring them, so they take any job they can get. Then they go to some place, working within a community they have no connection with, you know, and they're there just to get paid.
Yep,
and
no
there's
passion.
No passion. There's no connection with the kid, and what they don't my whole thing is with these presentations and stuff, I'm going out and saying, yo, this is what it's like to work here. If you have an inner feeling right now that this is something you want to do, okay. But if not, don't fucking go work at a place like this to grab a job, because you're just going to waste 100 lives in your year.
And your own.
Yeah, your own, and then you're going to take all these kids and put them on the wrong path, and then fucking give them a shitty idea of education. And, you know, and I try to work within the realms of working within the inner city and telling these people that, like, you know, if you're teaching these kids are smart. They're very keen to condescendingness. They're very keen to arrogant tones, to sarcasm. They don't respect the fact when you correct their language that they were born speaking and their whole family speaks. So if I got a student that says, like, oh, so-and-so be hating on me, blah, 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 and then you get some other teacher that's, like, be hating, like, that's not the proper way. Like,
where's your proper grammar?
Yeah, like, no, motherfucker. Yeah. It is the proper way because it's language and it's conveying a message, and I understood what he said, so it's not your proper way, you know? And if you're that type of dude that don't speak like that and don't act like that, I'm not saying you got to come in with this person that gets it, but don't demean it and don't mock it, you know, and don't make kids think the way they were brought up was wrong.
Yeah, you gotta be able to reach the kids.
You gotta be able to
that's
reach
the whole
them.
thing.
You know, don't disrespect them because you're telling them that's wrong or that doesn't sound intelligent. But guess what? Their aunt, their mother, their they could all talk like that. You know? So it's a little easier for me because I talk off the cuff and I talk a little fucking crazy all the time. So I might not talk exactly like all my students, but there's a bridge there with just like Italian gibberish. Like the kids like to hear that more than opposed to a monotonous, you know. And I tell when you talk about talking and working with the kids, you're taught in college to use your teacher voice and project your voice in this way and talk like this. And what I say is like, yes, you have to project your voice, but just project your voice. Yeah. Let's not go into this proper voice like when you go into journalism, they make you talk like this and back to you. Like, fuck that. Just use your voice, talk a little louder.
Then you'll sound like a fucking newscaster, and, like, none of that sounds natural, and kids pick up on that. Like, if you're talking like a newscaster to kids and you're putting on this image, kids pick that up and they'll shut down. Yeah. Especially the kids that you're working with. Like, they want a real person to connect with them.
Just talk with them.
Yeah.
Just talk with them.
Talk like a real person.
That's it. And it's okay to be, you know, as a teacher, you got to be very open to being vulnerable and being goofy and getting made fun of. Embrace it. If a kid cracks a joke on you, feel good that the kid feels comfortable enough to crack the joke on you. Don't stoop down to the kid's level. And all of a sudden, you took offense to it, so you're going to say some condescending-ass comment to a fucking 15-year-old. You're 43. You know, be the adult. Be the adult. Have fun. You know, maybe crack a joke back. But, you know, you see a lot of things. And I'm not talking within my school. I'm just talking across the board. It's things I've seen from going in through school systems. You know, I'm not demeaning any coworker I work with. I honestly think I have one of the best staffs, you know, anyone could have. I love the people I work with. But, yeah, man. It's dope. It's dope. It's a fun-ass job.
It seems like it. And a theme that keeps coming up for me and a lot of people recently is being a bridge. And you're definitely that kind of bridge. That's the work you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Like, yes. And one thing I was saying, like, we're a bridge to the technology generation. So we're like the people who have seen life without the internet, but now we're experiencing life with the internet. And we could kind of mentor the dangers to people that only know the internet. But then we could also help the older people. Like, my dad don't fucking realize that email could come through his computer and his phone. So, like, I could help him with that. Right? Bro, I can't tell you. I remember one day, I said so-and-so, he needed something. I get a kick out of him. He needed something. Something was emailed to him. And I said, all right. I said, it was emailed to you? He said, yeah, so I'll check my email. I said, all right, what is it? I got my computer out. He said, I'm going to work tomorrow. I said, no, I'll pull up your email. He goes, wait, I could get my mail through your computer? I said, yeah, that's fucking email. That's the thing. It's email because it ain't regular mail. But yeah, I get the bridge thing you're saying. I think, is that kind of like what you're hinting at, something like that?
Yeah, and there's multiple levels to it. Like, you're doing it between the wisdom you have and the kids that you're working with. The inner city kids are being exposed to whatever your life experiences are and the wisdom you have. And, like, for me, I know I'm a bridge between, like, just regular people, people that are normal people,
yeah.
and the spiritual hippies that are like love and light,
yes,
ascension. Like, I'm a bridge between those worlds.
You can hang out in both groups, and
yeah, like, I can hang out with, like, investment banking people, and I can hang out with hippies at a festival. I can hang out with some bros. I can hang out with some, like, I don't know, astrologers. It's
important to be that way, man. And I do think a ton of it does come just from, like, working on shattering your ego and just kind of being open. And, you know, your way ain't the only way. There's a lot of cool little things from every other, you know, group walk of life you can pick up on. And go in and appreciate and just assimilate at the moment. It's like you're not, like, changing yourself, but you're not going to make other people feel uncomfortable for being the way they are. You know, go assimilate. Hang out with some different people, pick up some different things, take some fucking notes from Stevie P, okay, and then be able to transcend through these dimensions of people. And and really, you want to talk about building the brand and stuff, you got to be able to talk with all walks of life, because you're trying to get something out everywhere. You and that's why also podcasts are cool, because we could just speak on these big topics, and so much of it is applicable to so many differentiating types of people. It's pretty dope, man.
Mm-hmm. That's the beautiful thing. That's what you and I are doing. And another topic that I wanted to transition to is comedy, because I know that you incorporate that in your classroom, but you also incorporate it on your social media and all that, because you're maybe the only person I follow on like Instagram, and I'm not on Snapchat that much, but like when you make stories, they're actually interesting and funny.
Thank you, bro.
So like, I want to get into that stuff, because most people, like, they don't know how to use it, or they don't know how to incorporate humor in a really interesting way. So I want to like get into your mind to see like how you approach that type of stuff.
That's cool.
Like both in the classroom and on social media. And I know they blend, because I've seen like your students on.
I'll do it in the classroom. Yeah,
and all that.
I mean, I definitely, I grew up around so many colorful, witty people and so much good comedy that I definitely took it for granted when I was younger, because I had these old uncles, man, that they would just go at each other, and it was like so witty and so quick, and the shit they would say and the way they would roast each other was like, is just truly, truly an art form. And even my father, the way he tells stories, he can make a whole crowd laugh. So I always grew up around appreciating the person who could make people laugh, and I like that, and I like to start to do that. There's few things make me feel better than getting a classroom of kids laughing. You feel like you're killing it.
Yeah, because you are.
Killing the day, the whole class laughs. It's a great feeling. I would say my main thing with the Instagram, well, first off, actually, we'll go to the classroom. Nothing's going to help you more than humor. Nothing's going to make a kid want to come to your class more than if you make them laugh, or if you make her laugh. It is the selling point. And the part of it is, I think it's not trying, but it's trying. It's being completely open to the fact that you're going to be goofy, and that you're just going to embrace any little funny situation that comes across, and you're going to act on it, but you're not going to force it. Like, the thing with the Instagram and the social media videos is, you could tell when these people are forcing shit, and it's cringeworthy, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that, like, push me. Excuse me. I just had some lamb, of all this fucking beautiful chopped up lamb on this salad, bro. It's just, like, coming up now, but oh my god, it was good. Shout outs to Halal Palace and fucking, Halal Palace and Troy Kitchen. Great job, fellas. But, the Instagram stories is, like, I used to watch all this forced shit, and, like, no, it kills me. Fucking kills me. And if you do this, lip syncing a song you didn't make into your phone, and I hate to draw it to, like, because I see so many girls do it, but guys do, because then I don't want to, can't say one or the other, somebody's offended, but fucking, that kills me. It just feels like people, it turned out like a lot of funny, it was like fake funny situations to just display your looks. So it was like maybe, a guy like trying to say something dumb, but like showing his bicep in the background and saying, wow, fucking terrible joke, and not the greatest bicep to even trying to fucking show. And then it's like a girl trying to look cute, doing a lip singing thing. And I remember that pushing me, like when I had Snapchat, to like, you know what? Like, I have so many fucking funny moments in my day. I'm just going to share them exactly as they come. So, like, a lot of things is, like, I just pull out the camera sometimes. And the cool thing about the Snapchat thing is just how it just goes consecutively now with the videos. Yeah. Instagram don't, but, whatever. And you just film through and just bring light to a funny situation and be real about it. And look into the camera as you would look into somebody's eyes, which I realize ain't easy to do. But my whole shit is like, not enough fucking people are doing it right. So if you can't do it, it's okay to not do it. Don't force it. And here's another thing that kills me. I get, with anything you do, you get some people that will talk negatively about it or whatever. So you might get some people I've had some people that were like, I had one specific friend who I won't fucking blow up right now and expose. who was like, yo, you make too many fucking Instagram videos, this, and that, and the third. And, like, I had to use his phone to call somebody, and I happened to open up an accidental video, like, I clicked something, and it was, like, 6 videos he made talking into the camera that he didn't have the balls to post on Instagram. So he was doing this shit, but too afraid to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Fucking wow. Sleep on that.
Irony. Whatever you hate is something that's inside of you that you dislike, you know?
Yes.
So it's that projection.
Yeah, and sometimes it could get, people get a little resentful, like, oh, I couldn't do it, but I ain't going into it that way. I would say, man, I just have a naturally, and I don't want to, I hate, like, talking like this, and I guess I've never talked about Instagram stories like this, but I have a natural knack to, like, know when a funny situation's coming, and then I also know how to act within it to not ruin it, to kind of build it up, and it's not planned, but it's opening myself to the moment, and just letting myself be free and shit, completely shatter my ego, and just do whatever. Like, I remember I was looking at, somebody sent me a bunch of shit laughing because I did something about, like, this, I had a big-ass pimple on my fucking face, and I was filming, talking in the middle of it, I just zoomed in, and I was like, oh my god, because I was gonna delete it. But then I was like, yo, that's the shit you post.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real. So just, like, capturing little situations like that and putting your twist on it. I come from a bunch of Italian shit talkers who say things a little different. We speak a little backwards and maybe not proper, but sometimes it hits. And sometimes we sneak in things at the right times and it just works. And it's definitely not a credit to me. It's just a credit of watching my unknown inspirations. Definitely one of them would be my Uncle Carmine. All right, rest easy, Uncle Carm. Shout out to Don Lino, that's his grandfather. My great uncle, or you would call my Sizzy, he was so quick with it, man. Just hilarious, like. And I could go over like a million different things he did, but it was just like the little subtle comments, with no remorse, or like he was very open to like saying whatever he had to say to embrace the funny and fuck your feelings if you don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said a lot of funny stuff, man. And just little things that you never heard. Like, you never heard some of the shit he said. Like, I remember being in Florida in his fucking hoopty Impala with the drop top and the smoke blowing and contaminating half of Fort Lauderdale, and pulling up to a red light, and some lady pulling up in her nice car, and she's like, excuse me, blah, 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 but you didn't, like, complain about the way he was driving, and his fucking, we used to call it the can opener bumper, because if another car came into it, it was bent backwards, and it would peel the shit like a can opener, and he wasn't telling nobody he's driving away, you're not getting his plate. But he just told this, like, he looked over with, like, this cool, keen look, he had a toothpick in his mouth, big, fat belly, slick back, white hair, beautiful head of hair, wish I had it, and he fucking looked at this lady and just, he gave her, like, this, I'm not even taking you serious look, and she was like, excuse me, and she was super proper, and he just said, like, a classic line that, we say, but he just looked and was like, blow it out your sister's ass, lady, and, like, the timing of it, and the confidence behind the way he said it, was hilarious, and it had me and my cousins at 9 years old saying that to each other, and then our sisters being like, what the fuck are you talking about, but it was just, like, his timing, his pronunciation, it was too good, man. It was too good. And it was also funny, and he was a pretty, we'll say, I'm not going to call him cheap, but I'll say he was tight with a buck. And he, my father was trying to, he's with my mother, he's trying to marry her. He's not an Italian guy, so he's trying to gain his brownie points. So he starts making floors. Now, when you make floors, you do any type of craft and you're dating an Italian girl, all her uncles and everything, all of a sudden they're going to need a floor, and they're going to need it for a real cheap price. So he goes in and does his floor, and the toilet had fallen through like halfway through the bottom. He had to buy all the materials, had to reset the foundation, but now he's trying to date my mother. So he comes out, he says, how much do I owe you? Now, he probably fed him, so he equates like a pepper and egg sandwich to like $800 each. He probably gave him 3 of those in the middle of the fucking work session. My dad was like, Unc, you know what? And he's like, Mark, I probably paid $300 in materials. He's like, Unc, you know what? Just give me $75. Real brownie point.
Damn.
I said, $75? What are you, a brain surgeon? There was a famous brain surgeon called Dr. Badar. Okay, he was like a local brain surgeon in the capital region. My Uncle Carm, Uncle Jerry, Uncle Tony called my father, Dr. Badar, for like 6 years. And they'd be at the table talking to mom like, you never worry about money, Dominica. You're going to marry a brain surgeon. Just busting his balls to the fucking day they went, man.
Wow.
But it was the pronunciations, the tones, and the timing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Like, people don't realize that, like, the timing and the way you say things is almost more important than what you say.
100%. You could
That's
say
what makes
nothing.
it so, yeah.
But if you say it right, and you say it at the right time, it's the fucking best thing you could say. You know? And it was the looks, man. They were very physical. So, like, you already know Italians talk with their hands and stuff. But it was the facial expressions and the eyebrow raises and the looks
okay.
of like this.
That's another dimension to it.
Whole nother dimension. You know who's a great comedian who's mastered that, who's blowing up, or who's blown up, is Sebastian Maniscalco. He's the best physical comedian out right now, in my opinion.
Never heard of him. I gotta look into him.
Oh, you gotta look into him. And, you know, he's performed up in Troy, not in Troy, but in Proctor's, where's Proctor? Schenectady. And you've seen a ton of Italians in there just because he speaks on, you know, he comes from Sicilian immigrants in Chicago, and he speaks a lot of relatable material just about foods and actions and words and lingo. But his thing is, he'll set up his punchlines, and the punchlines end with a facial expression, or like and then people go crazy. I remember watching it like, this dude just made the fucking whole crowd laugh with a hand wave. Like a wand, like a magic comedy wand, just like laugh, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're laughing now.
And got him. So yeah, bro, check him out, man. He's got one out called, the first one I ever seen of him was What's Wrong with People? And
I like that title.
Yeah. And the other ones, Aren't You Embarrassed? Because he always says, aren't you embarrassed? Like, we'll go up fucking, he was talking about people petitioning. Like, he's like, I wake up on a Monday, LA. There's fucking people outside marching for Lindsay Lohan out in front of a courthouse. He goes, Monday? No job? He goes, you're marching around in a circle? Justice for Lindsay. Justice. Aren't you embarrassed? And then it just hits. I can't do him justice. I can't. You gotta look him up yourself. Sebastian Maniscalco. Give him a plug on something that fucking he gets 8 billion more listens than. But you know what? I'm putting out positive energy to you, bro. Maybe we'll meet one day.
Yeah, what you put out, you get in return tenfold or 100-fold. I haven't done the math on it, but you get it back.
In some way. Some way.
And yeah, another point that I wanted to make is 85% of communication is nonverbal. So it's within like the physical body language and the intonations. Mm-hmm. And only 15% is the actual words you say. Yeah. So that's why the comedians that really know how to use their vocal tones and their intonations and whatnot and the physical aspect, they're the funniest. And then what you actually say, the actual words, are 15% of it.
100%. 100%. I'm trying to think of some comedians who really. I mean, if you watch old Murphy specials, he was all over the fucking stage. He was everywhere. You know, doing all types of things, hip thrusts, fucking everything. Just walk, pace it back and forth fast. I mean, a lot of it is your presence. And then, like anywhere else, you walk into a public place and you just keep your head up and your shoulders back and have a kind look on your face, but you're not afraid to look at people. You're not looking down. All of a sudden, people gravitate to you. Mm-hmm. Now, all of a sudden, you're the guy that they want to hear from. Why? Because you're not looking at your fucking shoes like a schmuck. You know,
That's so true, though.
You look like you actually have some confidence in yourself, and it goes a long way. You know, it really does. I mean, carrying yourself is huge. I remember being a little kid, and I used to love the way my dad walked, bro. I used to go and walk behind him and try to walk step for step because he had like the coolest shoulder sway. And I was like, oh, I just want to look like that when I walk because I still hadn't got my steps down. Then he used to say certain things. I used to go in the mirror and impersonate him, like word for word, things he said, which I'm sure if I even told him it, he'd cry. But yeah, it was just, I think just at a young age, I seen how people looked at him. He was a leader. And I seen like a lot of it was just because of the way he carried himself, the way he walked in a room, the way he stood. And it is. I mean, you think about animals when they square off and anything, everything is body language and posture, and birds blow their chest out, and feathers and fur come up on certain animals and places, you know, and that's a whole sense of communication.
Yeah, sure. They rarely even, like, actually fight. It's all about, like, the posture and the body language.
Yeah, and there's a difference, like, so, my shoulder's back, I'm calm, I'm chilling, okay, like, this might say, like, oh, he's, you know, a guy with maybe a little assurance in himself, maybe a little confidence, maybe, you know, he's cool to talk to, you know, but then you get the guys, like, this is like, I'm secretly scared to kind of fight, so I'm going to try to scare everybody, and I'm pretty sexually inadequate, so this at least will make up for it, and look at my fucking overblown creatine muscle, you know, and you could tell a lot. From people, you know, guises they put on. And, you know, so much of it does come through body language, man. You said it perfect. What'd you say, 85%?
Yeah.
I don't doubt that at all.
So much to it.
Really is. Really, really is. So what's up with you now, man? What have you been up to? What is that yoga thing? We were gonna meet for the last podcast. Well, I said like, oh, come on Friday or whatever, and you like, I got a Shakti.
Yeah, to get on your podcast, I'm doing Shakti Yoga Flow every other week. So it's like, it's a combination of yoga and like, so Shakti is more of like feminine energy. So it's a combination of yoga, dancing, and like meditation and sound therapy. So it's a whole blend of that. And
sound is in you making the sounds? Are you umming?
Partly.
Yeah?
Some oming going on.
Okay. It's an om, not an om.
Om, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Om. That was a good spontaneous om.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so, like, it's a bunch of that stuff, and, like, the woman who conducts it, shout out to Nicole. I want to get her on the podcast, too.
Shout out to you, Nicole.
She does, like, gong therapy, so she's got all these crazy gongs and these Tibetan singing bowls that she does, and like
shit,
that just takes you to other places. Like we do that at the end. So like at the end of a yoga class, you do shavasana, which is you basically just lay down and meditate, relax. Mm-hmm. So she does all this gong and singing bowls and stuff like that while we're doing that, and it takes you places. Like I don't know if it's just me, but I'm super sensitive to sound. Yeah. So, like, when I go through something like that, all the gongs and the Tibetan singing bowls, like, I'm legit high for a half hour to an hour after.
Really?
Yeah, like...
You're still in that, in that realm.
Like, this Friday, I couldn't even talk for a half hour after. I'm just standing there, like...
But very cool with it.
Yeah, so cool with it. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and like the whole feminine energy of it is awesome on a Friday because like we all go through our work week, like especially me. I'm like, get shit done. Like I have so much to do. I'm like way too far on the masculine yang side.
Yeah.
So I need some of that feminine energy, that yin energy to balance me out.
Balance you out.
Otherwise, I'm way too fucking driven. Masculine.
Would you even call it feminine energy, or would you just call it? Really tapping into another part of a masculine energy that we don't like to acknowledge exists.
It is feminine energy.
It is feminine energy, okay.
Because people...
The feminine divine.
Yeah, divine feminine. A lot of people just assume that men are all masculine and women are all feminine. But it's not, like, masculine doesn't mean man. It's not one-to-one synonymous. Like, men have masculine and feminine energy. Everyone's got a different balance.
Yeah.
So you got to balance that within yourself. It's the yin and the yang. Yin is feminine, yang is masculine, and you got to find that balance. If you're too yang, like yang is all like driving forward type of stuff.
Okay.
It's talking, it's pushing, it's all that. It's more active. Yes. While yin, feminine, is more receptive. It's more passive, flowing, intuitive. All that kind of stuff. The rest. It's like the night to the day. If you have day all the time, the earth would burn up.
Yes.
You know, if you have night all the time, the planets don't get light. So it's that balance, and that balance exists within all of us. So men have feminine energy within them. women have masculine energy with them, and it's all about finding your balance.
Now, would you say when you talk about those energies, obviously a female has way more feminine energy than a male, so our balance is a lot less equatable to theirs. So they just like they could balance themselves out with some odd amount of male energy to a more amount of female energy. Kind of same with us, masculine, a little bit of feminine.
And
let a good cry out sometimes, guys. It's okay.
Yeah,
Feels
of course.
Good. Bro, let me tell you, we had a field trip today, and we went and saw the movie Wonder, and I fucking really gave up on modern cinema. I think a lot of movies just fucking suck. Except like ones with animals, Jungle Book. Like, just bringing life to animals is so fucking dope to me. But, like, we went and seen this movie, and I was sitting with all my boys, like, all the kids I teach, and, you know, a big thing in, you know, communities like Troy is, my boys, you know, my students are forced into this hyper masculine energy all the time, you know, combative and never get disrespected and, you know, borderline aggressive. But this movie's fucking unbelievable. It's about a kid with a face uniform and who ends up having to go to middle school and just things exactly from his perspective that he goes through. And Julia Roberts is the mother and, like, the struggle she goes through. And there's so many tear-jerking moments. Just so many little nervous things that she's nervous for him to do when his first day walking into school. And she's such a great actress. It's still goddamn gorgeous. Oh my God, Julia Roberts. I would marry you right now still. Even if she's like 55?
I don't know. Shout out to Julia Roberts.
Shout out Julia Roberts. If she's 55 and I'm 26, I'd probably still marry her. And I wouldn't even cheat on you. We grow old in age to get like that's like she's like one of my ones. It's like wow, but this movie has all these tear-jerking moments, and she's such a great actress that when I always equate good acting with like the fact that I don't have to comprehend the feeling you're portraying. You make me feel it right when I see you feel it. I'm vesseled into your acting.
Okay, that's a good point.
You know, so when she like was cracking like a tear, like it automatically had me, you know, doing that, and there was so many of those moments. But I'm cried through a couple parts in this movie, and like I had some kids in there that I could see they're tearing up and shit, and I'm not going like, oh, it's okay, you're gonna be okay, but you know, I had one kid I could tell he was holding in so much, I just had to tap him on the chest. I was like, bro, just cry. We're getting a dark movie here. It's okay. You're gonna feel great after you do it. Cause I can't tell you, man, after getting a couple tears out, walking out of that theater, I said multiple times, this is a weird synchronicity between the situation, you know, you're talking about. I felt so good for a couple hours after that. Getting that, I kept saying, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was holding in, but Julia Roberts got it out. And I felt great. It really made me feel good. And that movie is grade A, man. I haven't seen a movie like that in a while. I haven't seen a movie that I walked out of the theater and been like, I really enjoyed that. Last movie I seen was with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was just because I was with this girl I was talking to. And she wanted to go in and see it. And she fucking plays to win the games anyway, so that's a waste of, $11? You know, so, and it sucked. And I was just like, damn, movies fucking suck, bro. But I'm glad I seen this one. I'm back. I might see you soon, Regal.
But yeah, that's a good point on like the good actors, good actresses, they make you feel it because like any artist is a shaman. Like they're people that know how to basically like I don't want to manipulate feels like a weird word, but like they know how to use energy to either help or hurt other people. Yeah. And like hopefully they're using it to help people. But like actors do it because they can make you feel emotions. They could bring out like if you're holding back something, they could do something in a movie that's going to allow you to release the tears that you've been holding back or release the laughter that you're holding back. A lot of people hold back joy, too. And then if you're a musician, same thing. You're able to, like, get someone to cry or get someone to smile or laugh that really needed it.
Yep.
You know?
Last song I cried to. Before the Beginning, John Frusciante. It's a 9-minute guitar solo. And it was just something about it, and it was something about the lighting when I was driving. It was just something about the time, and everything was going good for me. I was having a lot of good weeks, and just it struck a chord, you know? No pun intended. but it struck a chord right in my soul, and just tears started coming out. And I think they might have been, well, now that I think about it, it was more of a joyous thing.
Tears of joy.
It was tears of joy, because I remember saying to myself, like, I'm so glad, because I love music, man. I have so many passions, but I love music. Music's been there for me since I can remember. And it's the one steady thing I can always fall back on. And I remember just being in tune at that moment, being like, I'm so glad music can hit me on this level. Because how about a motherfucker that just is like driving their car playing like Christmas music right now? Like how deep have they gotten with music in their life? How many chords have been struck on you that you're fucking listening to Rudolph driving around in your sedan? Come on, do you like them bells that much? 98.3 is the worst fucking station in the Capital Region, because they start playing that shit after Thanksgiving. Now, you go from the Eagles and the Commodores to fucking Neil Diamond's Christmas album, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. I want to blow my car up when I hear it. Thank God for the aux cord.
Shout out to the aux cord.
Shouts to the aux cord. You saved my life. But mine was broke for a while, bro. And I remember listening to different radio stations, being like, Jesus. But 98.3 was there for me. And sometimes I fell into a little, but then you get them nice ones. Like I love Little Hall & Oates. I love Little Simon and Garfunkel. I love the Commodores. I love Tavares. I love the Al Greens. I like when they play that old Motown. Fleetwood Mac. God, they grew on me in the last couple years. And a lot of pretty girls I know love to listen to them. And that
Fleetwood Mac's good shit.
Oh, man.
Stevie Nicks.
Happens when it's
raining. Yeah, that's the jam.
The players only love you when they're playing. Love that shit, bro. Yep. Love that. Yeah, they're good, man. I love playing that music for my kids because you can't deny good music, and automatically when you hear something different, you're like, but I remember just throwing on like Parliament for them, like George Clinton, Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins, like bass solos. And at first, like, yo, what the fuck is this? But then later, you just see the little foot taps. Mm-hmm. Because they know I ain't turning my shit off. My radio, don't touch mine. That's mine. It's coming out. My speakers, this is what we're listening to.
Don't ever touch the teacher's radio.
Don't touch the teacher's radio. But, and it's cool. It's cool to just see that, good classic music can't be denied. Even if you can't, it's not hitting the way it was a couple years ago, it'll bring you back to that place when it was, if you really dive into it enough. Although it's not popping right now and the frequencies aren't there for that to be a hit, it was at one point, so you're just going to have to time travel back to that frequency, fucking live in the moment, listen to Jimi Hendrix, hop back to the 60s.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about what it does, it takes you back.
Oh, yeah. How many songs do you know that bring you back to certain situations?
Yeah, like exact situations. Like I was exactly here at this time doing this when I first heard this, or when I was listening to it a lot. I
could tell you Tupac's acoustic version of Thug's Mansion.
Okay, I like that song.
That I was listening to in, I think it was 6th, 7th grade. Okay, then I really got hip to the Chili Peppers. When I hear that song, I used to listen to that song in my Discman. Because I have a bad thing of when I like a song, I just play it a billion times until I hate it. And I'll never change. So I did that every morning. My father used to make me pepperoni. Used to chop up pepperoni, fry it up in a frying pan, put like American cheese on it, egg on a buttered hard roll, which I wouldn't even touch now with the way but that used to be my shit. And when I hear that song, I could smell that sandwich.
Damn.
Want to talk about fucking senses connecting?
Yeah.
I hear that song, I smell pepperoni and cheese and scrambled eggs and butter and the fresh English muffin toasted. I could hear me unwrapping the foil to open it. Being in that moment. On the bus, you couldn't fuck with me. I don't want to talk to you. It's early. We're not friends right now. I'm going to sit in the back. I'm putting on my headphones. Leave me alone. We'll talk in homeroom. And I used to go back. People knew to leave me alone. I would get into my zone, and I would escape. I would escape with that music. I always say, no matter what's going on and how bad things are, when I get into the songs that I like, they don't take the situations away. But if life's going this way, I'm like doing a straight linear line with my hands. So we got a camera now. Beautiful. Fucking, if life's going this way and things are going bad, but you still got to get through it, music takes me here. It stops me in that road. It takes me out of it for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get back on the road and it's a little easier to deal with. You know, that's what that shit does for me. It just takes me out of everything. I'm lost. If it's a song that gives me goosebumps and shit, I'm not there. The shit don't exist for when I'm hearing it. Take it off, it's very real again. But hey, I had 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's an experience that's profound, that shifts you, and it also changes your perspective once you go back.
100%.
So, like, there are a lot of things that do that, but music is, like, a surefire way that anyone can do. But, like, also, like, meditation or working out or anything like that does the same thing. Like, you come back from a workout, you have an entirely different perspective. Like, I did that earlier. I was stressed as fuck today.
Yeah.
Trying to do so much, like, worrying about this and that project and so much stuff. And I did a workout, and my perspective shifted like that. I came back, and I'm like, what was I stressing about again?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's not that bad.
It's nothing.
Cole actually said he had a good tweet a while ago. He said I don't like talking to people, but when I do cardio, I don't like talking to people a little less. I was like, oh shit, that's actually hilarious, but very true. And one other thing I like when I really get into a good workout is my hardest thing is starting like anyone else. But then, once I get going, I love that moment. I love when I'm in the middle of, like, either if I'm hitting a heavy bag, or even if I'm rolling jiu-jitsu, or even running. Like, the runner's high is a real thing. You have to battle through the beginning struggles of your body, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. Why are you running? And then it gets a little, oh, okay, this ain't bad. And then you start listening to your song, and the song feels good. Then you're thrown into this high of where your body's just moving. You don't even think about running now. You're just enjoying the moment, you know?
Yeah, I call that becoming a verb. So you literally become the movement. It's not like all these thoughts and whatnot. You are just the movement.
Yes.
You're a verb.
Yes.
And that's when you know. That
is when you know. And I think it's great to get into a lot of free flow movement exercises. And obviously, you know, I love lifting my weights. I love, you know, keeping my base of strength. But I love, like, a lot of, like, when you're doing stuff like working on a heavy bag or practicing martial arts moves or fucking running or Pilates or, like, there's all these free movement styles. There's actually a great guy, Eric Mellon from Onnit. You go to onnit.com. You can look up, or go to their Instagram. You can look up, he has this thing called Viking Ninja Movement. Something.
Cool name.
Yeah, man. Viking Ninja. You'll love their shit. I'll send you.
I gotta look into that.
You'd be really hip to this. But he's just big on movement and stuff. And I love stuff like that because with weights, it's cool. You could get into that.
Yeah, but it's so linear. It's like this, that.
Yeah,
that.
And then you could hurt yourself.
It's not flowing. Yeah.
And then you could hurt yourself if you do it too
repetitive
much.
injuries.
Yeah. So now if you just get into movement exercises and you're doing stretches and jumping and you break into that state and it just becomes fun. You get that kid sensation where you're just playing now.
Yep.
Now you're just playing and jumping around. Man, and it's people don't play. Adults don't play. Yeah. Were you talking about this recently?
Yep.
Okay.
Play and playfulness. Everyone's deficient in it. More, all adults are. Well, kids are too. It's the fucking school and all that.
Yeah, man.
Kids are play deficient, and adults are really play deficient because we gotta act serious all the time, and it's frowned upon to laugh and smile and to jump around. But
yeah,
fuck it, I love running through the woods and jumping up on a tree and climbing and like trying to do a flip and like rolling on the ground.
How free?
That shit's so fun.
Yeah, liberating.
Yep, it is liberating on so many levels.
Liberating. I can't tell you, like, if you just ask a bunch of adults, like, if you even just ask, like, somebody to do a toe touch and then jump and lift their knees up as high as they could. Like, if you were just like, yo, do that, man. Yo, try this. Try to do that. You'd see such a look of discomfort and, like, vulnerability on their face.
Yep.
Just because, why? Now, I got my niece is fucking 1 year, probably a year and, like, 6-7 months, almost 2 years old. She has a ball. I set up a bunch of pillows. And she just runs as fast as she can into them. And she laughs and does it and rolls around and just lets out like a big yell, because she's so happy that she just wants to vocalize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, we can only do that within realms of, like, if you were playing sports, you hit a game-winning shot, like, yeah! But, like, why not fucking, like, I can't tell you, bro, like, when I work out, I'm a psycho. That's why I work out alone a lot. Because when I get shit done, I'm like, let's fucking go, Mark! Let's go!
That's exactly my self-talk.
Yeah.
Like, my self-talk when I'm doing anything is, let's fucking go. Either, I usually say Pete. Like, let's fucking go.
Oh, so, yeah.
Like, the exact same self-talk. That's what I do with myself.
We gotta brand it. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fuck t-shirts. Just fuck what everyone thinks. Just let's fucking go. LFG.
LFG. I like that a lot.
Let's fucking go. Like just the motto. Let's fucking go. You don't want to run right now? Well, let's fucking go.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to express ourselves on so many levels. Physically, we have to express ourselves. Emotionally, everything. We got to let that shit out because everyone's living like this. Like,
so tight, man.
Keeping everything in. Like, sometimes you just need, like, a rah!
Yes.
Rah!
Yes. It just feels good.
Yeah, it does.
It feels good. I remember watching one dude, I forget who he was, but he was talking about his warm-up workout routine. He's like a physical fucking specimen. Everyone has these elaborate workout routines. His shit is, he just shakes and goes, ah!
Probably Elliot Hulse.
Yeah, the dude with, like, the blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, them, like, crystal, like, there's something up with him, man. He's got them, like, I'm tuned into the universe eyes, but, like, in a hyper, like, masculine way.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, I might go to his... I've met him before in 2012. I went to an event of his in New York City, and I might go to his grounding camp in Austin in January. But yeah, he's all about that stuff, and what he does in these grounding camps, it's Osho's dynamic meditation. So it's a meditation designed to, first of all, get all your shit out before you can meditate. Because... like Western culture, we hold everything in. So it's like, part of it is just being a lunatic. Like 10 minutes of going fucking crazy. So screaming if you need to, crying if you need to.
Yeah.
Just whatever. Whatever comes out, comes out. Like, I spent, when I was in Osho's meditation resort in India, I spent a solid 5 minutes doing a Dragon Ball Z power-up.
Yo, my boy, cool.
Like, for legit 5 minutes.
Did you build it up to like a...
I built it up.
Yeah.
And it felt so good.
I bet you it does.
When the fuck do you get to do that?
What? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Like, if I did that on a street, people would call the cops.
Yes, they would. They would.
Which is crazy.
Yes, they would. Yeah, my boy Coop loves Dragon Ball Z. He'll love to hear that. But he's actually, he sees a lot of shit you post. Really introspective thinker, smart kid, underratedly smart, because a lot of my friends are we just love to fucking abuse each other and just verbally demean each other all day. So they shoot down a lot of his knowledge because they don't understand it.
Yeah, but
I gotta get him in a room with you, bro. Like, I gotta get him talking to you, bro. We definitely will. We'll get you in here talking to Coop. Fuck yeah. Well, I'll set that up for sure. And I can't tell you, like, we'll be at parties, bro. We'll be at parties. And this kid will come up big, yo, Mark, look at this shit. He'll, like, hold out his phone. I'll be looking. It's too fucking... I'm not keen to Dragon Ball Z. It's a Dragon Ball Z fight. He's watching this shit. He's like, watch this. I'm like, dog.
We're at a party
right now. And he's right into it. And he's, like, loving them. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. But I fucking don't want to be seen doing this right now. So I'm gonna walk away. But yeah, man, I'll definitely get him here and get him talking, you know. He's got a lot to offer. He should talk more. One thing I'm definitely gonna do on Minutes of Marko is just get my friends in there, because I don't just get this from nowhere. My friends talk like this and shit, and my friends are very witty and keen and good ball busters and fucking love roasting each other. So I want to have something where like, I'll get one-on-ones, but just have us in a room talking, just record that shit and put it out. Why not? People look at it as entertainment.
Natural. And yeah, we're coming up on an hour.
We're coming up on an hour. That was good. And actually, bro,
that went so quick.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. There's gonna be a lot more of these.
Yeah,
He's gonna be like, I gotta get you on Minutes of Marko.
Yeah, and you gotta come on again multiple times.
Multiple.
Because I love talking to you.
I love talking to you too, bro. I'm really glad this happened, and I think it's just the start of something that's we don't even know what it's gonna fucking turn into, but it's gonna be something dope.
Most definitely, we don't even know where it's leading.
We don't,
but we're taking those steps.
Fuck yeah,
so, tell people where they can find you, what you're working on, all that. Give your plugs.
Oh, cool. So I just found out I'm releasing a musical project with Cole King. I just found out because we did a lot of fucking songs together when we were in here drinking whiskey, and I didn't realize how much we had. So be on the lookout for me and Cole King's EP coming out, The Whiskey Ginger Boys.
Ooh, nice.
That'll be down on my SoundCloud. You can follow me on SoundCloud at Don_Marko. My Instagram, where you can find those stories Stevie's talking about, is Don Marko, DONMARKO_. My Twitter, and my Twitter's the same as my Snapchat, and I do a lot of bullshit and rant and, say whatever I want on there. That is Marko's Modern Life. MARKOSMODERNLYF. That's why I spelled it out, because life is spelled LYF. I wasn't, demeaning your intelligence. But that's all I got.
All right, awesome. Definitely follow this guy. If you're listening, follow him.
Shouts to all Stevie Peace people, man. You're following a good man, and you're listening to a good leader. And I'm here with you. I'm learning from him with you. So we're going to keep learning together.
And I'm learning from everybody.
That's it.
So it's a co-creative process.
Conscious Creative Tribe.
Yeah, it's a tribe. It's not just one person. So, yeah. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it.
Got to do it, cuz. Got to do it. That was a good one, kid. That was a fucking good one. You want to talk about a fucking podcast? Wow.
Yeah, we went in.
We did go.